got shit to say. Like, they keep saying shit about you, though, on bees.
I'm at the bank.
Why would you say that, bro?
Well, they need to get off your top.
Get ready, because what I'm going to tell will make the Kardashians appear to be a family that truly keeps to themselves. Even the FBI Wi-Fi presumably lagged as a result of a controversy that was revealed and went viral online. Chrisean Rock, the Walking season finale, the Queen of Turmoil, and the Empress of surprising narrative twists, is suddenly enmeshed in a chaotic situation that makes her previous drama seem like a preschool nap. Because it seems that her 19-year-old husband, yes 19, didn't just walk into her life. Instead, he reportedly trapped her in a full-fledged circus of bank fraud. Not a mistake. Not a miscommunication. Money flying, accounts freezing, police sirens revving up like they're stretching before a marathon, all part of a fake fiesta. And right now? It's as if the police are vying for the title of most persistent. Drama is not what this is. This criminal documentary is attempting to get off Netflix and onto your screen dot, so fasten your seatbelts. For this story, specifics will hit your head more forcefully than Blueface's tweets. What took place? How big of a mess is it? And why does this seem like a plotline that Power rejected because it was too chaotic? It's going to get dangerous, so grab your popcorn. When this story first surfaced, everyone on the internet exclaimed, "What?" TikTok servers most likely trembled due to the loudness. Because no one anticipated that Chrisean Rock's life would veer into the realm of financial criminality. This is the same woman who dominated social media, body-slammed reality TV, and made disorder a defining characteristic of her personality, but bank fraud? Even Zeus network writers would consider that degree of plot to be a bit much. It all began with an internet whisper. One small gossip. One dubious post. At 3 in the morning, one anonymous screenshot went viral online. Chrisean's 19-year-old husband did something wild with her bank, is all that needs to be said. The internet suddenly slipped into cardiac arrest. People were frantically looking for information as if they were trying to find the final Popeye's chicken sandwich. Before learning the truth, YouTube drama channels scheduled thumbnail picture sessions. TikTok commentators grabbed ring lights like they were ready to battle. And Twitter investigators donned their fictitious badges. And when did the truth begin to come to light? Yes, after witnessing Chrisean trend without him, it was more devastating than Blueface's ego. Allegedly, Chrisean's adolescent husband, who had only reached emotional maturity in high school, somehow became embroiled in a banking scheme that was more filthy than a motel bathroom. We love a good, allegedly, for legal flavor. It's not just a straightforward oopsie like inadvertently overdrafting $12 on DoorDash. No, he was tricked into believing he was the star of Snowfall Baby Edition. Several accounts. Suspicious transfers. A digital fingerprint trail is more careless than a toddler's finger painting. What's the cherry on top? According to reports, he used Chrisean's name, information, and trust as if they were extra points in a video game. This is where the storyline takes a yoga instructor-like turn. People close to the matter, including messy cousins, former pals, binocular-wielding neighbors, and weird internet strangers who seem like they have FBI clearance, claim that Chrisean knew absolutely nothing. She honestly thought her new young husband was exactly that young. And delicious. And encouraging. She believed he was not playing with felony charges, but rather playing computer games. However, the money movement was truthful. Like they were on a trampoline, the numerals began to bounce. Banks observed. Algorithms were compromised. More red alarms were detected by systems than in a Call of Duty warzone. Whispers became full-fledged digital earthquakes before Chrisean could even blink between Instagram stories. At that point, screenshots, those hazy, half-cut, excessively magnified pictures that somehow seem official enough to cause turmoil on a global scale started to leak. Accounts associated with her identity were allegedly used in ways that shout, "Someone watched too much YouTube scam content at 3 a.m. and took notes." Additionally, when the internet continued to dig deeper, users began seeing connections that suggested the 19-year-old might not have simply accidentally dragged Chrisean into trouble. No, the story that is being told is much more dramatic. He supposedly imprisoned her, manipulated her, used her notoriety as an eyelash-equipped piggy bank. With a puppy dog charm, he entered her life and departed with passwords. Drama never goes unnoticed. So the authorities apparently began snooping around, checking documents, asking questions, and confirming identities, the hey, we might need to talk to you knock on the door that makes your soul briefly leave your body. Chrisean, who believed she was in a romantic fairy tale with a younger man, wakes up abruptly in what appears to be a low-budget version of Ozark. She believed she had a husband-boyfriend hybrid. Rather, she allegedly became a walking indictment while sporting Nike Tech fleece. People in her immediate vicinity began to panic. Family members wanted to know what was happening. "Girl, no," was being yelled by fans, as if it were a group intervention in the comments. Even Blueface, who was hiding somewhere in the digital shadows, most likely grinned like a villain when he heard a story development that for once he didn't cause. However, this is when things get really tense. Celebrity turmoil and Instagram. Lives don't matter to the authorities, whether Chrisean was ignorant or simply too enamored to notice the red flags. Flying like parade banners doesn't matter to them. Numbers are what the law wants, facts, receipts. Her name is currently all over the receipts like a Walmart sale tag. Imagine receiving legal letters instead of breakfast when you wake up one day. Imagine believing that your spouse is organizing romantic evenings when, in reality, he may have been organizing deposits. Imagine attempting to do your edges while also attempting to comprehend why adult officials are using phrases like involved with and under review to refer to you. This kind of chaos explodes rather than just hitting. Fans turned into full-time, unqualified detectives as the controversy gathered traction. Everyone claimed to have inside information. The sister of a friend of someone's cousin claimed to have seen communications. Another person claimed to know someone from the bank. While eating flamin' hot Cheetos at home, everyone was conversing as if they were in the FBI's back office. The juiciest part, though? The 19-year-old husband is said to have orchestrated this, similar to a plan. For example, he commented, "Yeah, that's my retirement plan," after witnessing Chrisean's success. People began portraying him as a mastermind, the dollar store equivalent of a criminal genius who used charm, youth, and weakness to infiltrate her life and eventually her finances. It remains to be seen if he is indeed a mastermind or just a young child who made the worst choices in human history. However, the story that is making the rounds online is audacious, theatrical, and incredibly messy. He boxed her in rather than merely dragging her into deceit. Additionally, insiders claim that Chrisean is scrambling behind the scenes despite her attempts to appear cool online by sharing tailies and behaving regular, making calls, obtaining justifications. "Why is my bank calling like I owe them my firstborn child?" is one of the questions I asked him. "Why is your name being mentioned more frequently than mine by the authorities? Why do all American financial systems suddenly recognize me?" This situation is more than simply a scandal. It's a multi-layered catastrophe tinged with terror and confusion. And the whole public? They are living for this, I see. Gasping, laughing, speculating, and piecing together videos as if they were creating a crime board. Memes are all over the place. The number of irrational opinions is skyrocketing. As if it were the Super Bowl of poor choices, everyone is eager to see what will happen next. Maybe for the first time in his life, Chrisean isn't making noise. She doesn't say much, observing, processing, because this isn't a small-scale romantic drama. This isn't online rivalry. This is genuine, lawful, really? And purportedly intimately connected to the young man she had faith in. This scandal's twisted beauty lies in the fact that it's more than just messy. It's private. It's challenging. Even reality TV would say, "Okay, calm down," in response to this kind of chaos. The world is curious as to whether she was duped. Did she know? Was she a victim of a plot or a victim of love? Or is there a deeper layer that hasn't been discovered yet? Whatever the reality, one thing is certain: the scandal isn't going away. It is speeding up, blowing up, spreading like wildfire across the entire internet. What about the next wave of insanity? It's coming, I see, and it's much worse. The internet didn't just react when the controversy came to light. It rioted, digitally rather than physically. Timelines trembled like if a washing machine had been dropped on them. Even if half of them still don't know how to check their credit score, everyone with a Wi-Fi connection suddenly became an expert on federal banking violations. The memes followed. The memes, my god. TikTok was ablaze. Chrisean was being edited into robbery films. The money heist poster has someone's face on it. A video of Dora the Explorer saying, "Swiper, no swiping," was shared by someone else. Chrisean to her 19-year-old husband when the bank statements hit, the caption read, "The internet was enjoying itself far too much." Chrisean's life, meanwhile, was beginning to resemble an unpaid cameo in a criminal thriller. Because prominent. Criminal thriller. Because prominent. People can't help but get involved in turmoil that doesn't affect them. They join the chaos next. According to reports, Cardi B even posted a mysterious tweet that said, "Trust nobody with your routing number." Shade? Suggestions? Is it a coincidence? Fans handled it as though she directly initiated the probe. Therefore, it doesn't matter. Naturally, Blueface was unable to remain silent. Like a villain entering a scene in slow motion, he glided online. POSTING grins. Lines that are cryptic. Pretending to be Professor X who can read minds from a spinning chair. The internet devoured it. Every breath he took was being captured as if it were a hint. The most bizarre turn? Some followers started speculating that the 19-year-old was supposedly recruiting people in addition to playing with fraud. All of a sudden, TikTok investigators began discussing secret groups, invitations, and communications. As usual, there is no proof, simply conjecture sautéed in turmoil. However, it was irrelevant. The story was moving at Olympic speed. Instead of simmering, public indignation erupted. Comment sections became a combination of FBI interrogations and group therapy sessions. Everyone was looking for solutions. Everybody had theories. And no one was holding back. You had people writing essays longer than student dissertations, discussing psychological entrapment and patterns of manipulation as if they were seasoned fraud studies professors. Not only is the internet messy, but it's proudly messy. However, the narrative wasn't finished twisting, according to sources. Chrisean began to emotionally and not officially distance herself from her young spouse. When someone becomes silent, you know it's genuine. Chrisean too? She doesn't speak quiet. More people were shocked by her silence than by a Kardashian pregnancy announcement. Insiders stated that she was enraged behind closed doors, but not in the loud, screaming sense. The icy, weighty, "my entire life might crumble if this is true" kind of rage. She apparently confronted him, demanding honesty, explanations, and sanity in the face of none. Whispers also claimed that his responses made matters worse. Much worse. Teenage terror, half perplexity, half excuses, and a dash of "it's not what you think." For someone attempting to evade government scrutiny, this is not a smart combination. The revelation that officials were reportedly getting ready to meet with both of them was the scandal's biggest twist to far. I want her account of what happened, but I'm not accusing her. The internet experienced its third meltdown of the week as a result of that alone. People started drawing comparisons between the situation and every conceivable pop culture catastrophe. This is bringing vitality to the Fire Festival. This is Bonnie and Clyde on Walmart. Chrisean living in a Tyler Perry storyline once more. The girl became a liability after believing she had adopted a lover, savage, completely barbaric. Beneath the chuckles, however, lurked a very genuine fear. What if Chrisean was punished this time? Legal repercussions. Financial repercussions. Ramifications for one's reputation. Because while the internet enjoys making jokes, it also enjoys passing judgment. Millions of people were now seeing, analyzing, and criticizing every action she took. Every quiet moment. Each post. Every single emoji. People were interpreting everything as though she was revealing national secrets. In the meantime, the 19-year-old husband's internet identity was crumbling. He might as well have been trending under public enemy number 1 because fans were dragging him so violently. He was referred to as the FAFS, a fraud fairy, Will Ponzi scheme, Sir Fraud a Lot, and teenage scammer mutant ninja turtle. There are no boundaries to savage creativity. However, people who had previously justified their connection caused the biggest criticism. People were saying run instead of they're cute. Influencers were posting films with 40 minutes of breakup advice. Excitement was making reaction channels foam at the mouth. Even those who often discuss food recipes were suddenly examining claims of fraud as if they were bank security university graduates. Chrisean was left standing in the midst of a digital hurricane, bewildered, deceived, furious. And maybe facing investigations that might completely upend her future as the globe broiled, hypothesized, and burst with drama. There was no slowing of the controversy. There was no pause. It was changing. What about the upcoming wave? It strikes more forcefully than the others. As we are now discussing the repercussions, fallout, a reputation. The fallout that transforms chaos into legenda, and believe me, that portion is far more disorganized. The repercussions was more severe than a celebrity divorce announcement when the dust eventually cleared, or at least stopped spinning long enough for everyone to breathe. Chrisean woke up to aftershocks rather than just a scandal. Reputation shakes. Earthquakes of emotion. The place where her relationship once existed was a complete disaster zone. According to reports, her staff was the first to scramble, making calls as if they were using duct tape to save a sinking ship. Above all, they were afraid of perception. Because perception either writes checks or takes them away in the entertainment industry. Furthermore, the scandal was neither endearing, humorous, or marketable. It didn't help her sell songs or promote gigs since it made her appear fragile. She appeared imprisoned as a result. Her recommendations? Paused. Suddenly, brands pretended not to know her phone number. Meetings were being pushed out so far by executives that they might as well have scheduled them for 2032. The industry is more concerned with making headlines than with guilt or innocence. This headline was radioactive as well. In the meantime, popular sentiment began to divide into two groups. She's a victim, stated one side. She put her trust in the incorrect person. Girl, how did you not see this coming? Exclaimed the opposing side. The child was hardly old enough to get a car rental. The gap widened. Comment sections turned become battlegrounds. A fan submitted an article about trauma bonding in 5 paragraphs. This ain't trauma, this is poor decision-making with Wi-Fi, someone else retorted. There is no intermediate ground. Just mayhem, however, the emotional fallout was the worst damage. Betrayal doesn't simply heal your heart in this way. Particularly not in public. Particularly not when it's noisy. Particularly not when the perpetrator is standing next to a stack of digital evidence with a bewildered look on their face. According to reports, Chrisean stopped communicating. Not formally. Not in a big way. Just a little distance. After all of that, she eventually realized that this was a liability wearing a hoodie and lip gloss, not a relationship. She received a story twist with a pulse when she believed she had a companion. According to insiders, she's now focusing on herself. Her professional life. Her infant. Her sanity. Attempting to restore her reputation before it further deteriorates. Because she is the most knowledgeable about one thing in the world of celebrity, you either survive or are overtaken by memes. What about him? According to reports, the 19-year-old husband is scrambling more than a plate of diner eggs. Friends are separating. Family perplexed. Every day, the internet makes fun of him as if it were a pastime. His issues won't be online if the probe goes on. Instead, they will be offline with clipboards and badges. The once wild and passionate relationship now appears to be a warning story. An alert, don't mix love with bank accounts, reads a neon advertisement. The entire globe is observing, waiting, revitalizing, since no one thinks this is the end. These kinds of scandals don't go away lightly. Instead, they change. They inspire follow-ups. The largest chapter to date may be Chrisean's next move. The aftermath might be the rebirth if this was the storm. Or the subsequent blast. The world won't turn away in any case. Now, family, if you thought this scandal was crazy, Feinda was crazy. Fasten your seatbelts because we're dropping drama every day like it owes us rent. Smash that like button as if it were the receipts for Chrisean's financial mess. You won't want to miss the next shocking turn, meltdown, or cliffhanger, so subscribe as if your Wi-Fi depended on it. We read everything, so please share your hot takes, memes, and insane conspiracy theories in the comments section below. The juicier, the better. Spread the word about this video more quickly than someone sending phony money tips via direct messages. Because of this, scandals don't go away. There is no sleep for gossip. What about the drama? Well, it's only the beginning. Keep an eye out. Continue to be dirty. Keep yourself amused. And keep in mind that while the internet never forgets, we consistently provide in Pope Facts Faction.